Wasn't Jesus a socialist? Yeah, no. No, Jesus was not a socialist. The fact that someone might think that Jesus was a socialist is powerful evidence of our own propensity to remake Jesus into our own image. There's a couple of very important circumstances in the gospel accounts where we see Jesus taking a decidedly unsocialistic perspective on things. One of those is when the woman comes and pours perfume, very expensive perfume, all over his feet and washes his feet in preparation for his burial, and all the Karens in the room are aghast and appalled that this should happen. And Jesus says, leave her alone. She did this for me. The poor you will have with you always, but you won't always have me with you. Now, this is not a exposition of or defense of free market economics or an assault on socialism. It is, however, an affirmation of property rights. This woman has every right to do with what is hers what she wishes, and nobody else has the right to judge her for not doing something else with it. She has poured out this luxury on me rather than embracing this idea that all anybody can have is hardtack and water until there are no more poor people. In a similar vein, we also have the parable of the vineyard workers, where the first vineyard workers are hired as day laborers in the morning and offered to translate it into English, $1 a day. At noon, the boss went back and hired some more, and he offered them $1. And then in the middle of the afternoon, he hired some more and offered them $1. And just an hour before quitting time, he hired some more and gave them $1. All of them got $1. And the people started in the morning were like, hey, wait a minute, we worked longer. And Jesus said, that's right. And I gave you what we agreed to. Now, again, you can twist this into a defense of socialism. Hey, everybody gets $1. Everybody gets the same. Doesn't matter who worked harder. Doesn't matter who worked longer. No, the message is explicitly in what Jesus says. We had an agreement. I kept my agreement. You have no grounds for complaining. Then there is the account of the two men who had just received an inheritance and were grumbling and complaining about who got what, and they came to Jesus, and Jesus said, leave me alone. What does this have to do with me? He's not saying, hey, money matters are too beneath me to talk about. What he's saying is, whatever's in the will is in the will. And whatever belonged to the people whose property it was, they can give it to who they want to give it to. Now, is Jesus eager and zealous for us to pay our tithes? Absolutely. To care for the poor? Absolutely. Is he eager and zealous for us to put together a government which routinely and regularly takes the wealth that belongs to one man to give it to another man? Most assuredly not. Each one of these stories is a story affirming the authority of a given steward to do with what God has given them what he wishes. Understand that when you steal from one man and give to another, you're not just stealing from the man, you're stealing from God himself. Because it's God who put that wealth into the care of the one who's being taxed, who didn't put it into the hand of the one who's receiving the benefit. So let's stop reading the Gospel of Mark's and start reading the Gospel of Mark and John and Luke and Matthew, and you will find there a Jesus who is most assuredly not a socialist.